Welcome to Drinks in the Library, the only library where drinks aren't just allowed, they are required. I'm your librarian host, Gigi Howard, and each episode I'll be interviewing a guest about a much-loved book that we will be pairing with a drink for you to enjoy along with us or consider for your next book club meetup. As always, stay curious and support your local library. I am on vacation for one more week. Until then, please enjoy this episode that was originally aired July 23rd, 2024. Hello, Libration Nation. I am calling this episode my Christmas in July episode. Our book is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which is set in Narnia, where we enter. It is always winter, but never Christmas. Also, our drink this week is called a Narnia 75, which I got from the FoodNetwork UK's Christmas page. So here we are, Christmas in July, and I'm so glad to be here this week with my guest, Erin Surber. Erin is an avid reader and enthusiastic library patron. She has 4 children aging from 18 months to 9 years old. She has worked in video production industry for 14 years and now holds the position of head of production for a Richmond-based production company. She loves being outside, hiking, running, slowly, she said that, and kayaking. She's also very into cooking, traveling, and all things dark chocolate. We had a really fun time. The Chronicles of Narnia is a book or series that's really special to Erin, and I appreciate her willingness to come on and share that with all of us. All right, enjoy the show. Thank you very much for supporting the show.
I'm
and
a big fan.
Me, yeah. Thank you. So, but yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Walking over, another neighbor.
I am honored to be on it. Very excited. Long-time listener, first-time guest.
First of many.
Well, I did think about I was like, if she repeats, I could come back and do my pretentious second option of Infinite Jest.
Yes.
Or if there's a guest host.
Yeah.
He and I can talk about it without probably ever really crossing hairs because
right. Yeah. So Erin is referring, you've one of the 3 people I know have read Infinite Jest, and I think it is 90% of what my husband talks to you about when he sees you.
When you find somebody else who has read it, I think you have to talk about it some, just to say, oh, somebody else who has conquered this tome. What did you think about it? But
gone down the path. So today we're talking about. Now, are we talking about the Chronicles of Narnia, or are we talking about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
I could do either one.
Okay.
And even if we do just The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, I would give a shout out to my favorite of the Chronicles of Narnia, which is The Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Okay.
But could also talk about just The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Right. And that's the first one, but it's actually the second one.
It's the first in publication order. And I know I mentioned this to you before. There are hot debates about the correct reading order. Some people, it seems that the real deep dive nerd fans of C.S. Lewis in general go with publication order.
Okay.
But the chronological order is if you purchase the book set, that's the order that it's in.
Okay.
And so Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is second.
Right.
Chronologically, first in publication.
And the Silver Share, is that the first one? What's the first one?
Magician's Nephew.
The Magician. Way off. Is there even one called the Silver Share?
It is. That is book 6 in chronological order.
Way off.
But people, I was brushing up on it and saw that one of the arguments for reading in publication order is that you're introduced to Aslan in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe as if you'd never heard of him before. Yeah. And in The Magician's Nephew, Narnia is referenced right away, as if you already know what Narnia is.
Okay.
So there's definitely an argument to be made for reading them in publication order.
Okay. So we're just gonna call it. It's publication order.
I tend to agree, even though I have read them in both orders.
Oh.
So
Okay. Oh, and that's a question. So how many times have you read these? Who were you the first time you read them?
I honestly don't know the count of how many times I've read them because I first read them when I was the target age for the books. So probably around 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. And I'm sure I started with Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It is the best introduction to the series, really. But I read the whole series at some point, and then anytime I didn't have something to read through high school and college, I would just read the Chronicles of Narnia. They're a quick read, especially for an adult. And as with rereading any book, you get new things out of it. So,
yeah. And you read them with your kids, right? You have 4 children.
Yes,
Whoop, whoop.
I do have 4 children. I'd always envisioned reading them with my kids or reading them to my kids at bedtime.
Yeah.
My oldest, my 9-year-old son, Barrett, is an avid reader.
He is. He's one of my best patrons.
We have 2 stacks of library books in our house. One is the stack to go back to the library, and one is the stack of Barrett's library books that we've found around the house, and we don't know if he has read or not read.
Yeah.
Because he probably has 30 books checked out at a time. A lot of them are graphic novels.
Yeah.
But he and I will read a chapter book together at night. So he reads a page, I read a page. And he, on his own, wanted to keep going through the Chronicles of Narnia. And so I have read all 7 with him.
Yeah.
Which based on some of the content of especially The Last Battle, it's a very heavy book with a lot of implied death and explicit death.
Okay.
I didn't think that we would cover that one until he was a little older, but he wanted to, and he enjoyed it. So, and he wants to reread them, which is my dream.
You're doing it.
I having been a mother for as long as I have, I hold loosely to the hopes that my children will love the things that I love.
Yeah.
Because I have experienced that anything that is a suggestion that comes from mom is typically already categorized as absolutely terrible. I would never touch that.
Oh my gosh. When did this happen? I was talking to Annabelle like last week or 2, and I was like, I used to be like cool, and she was like, those days are done.
Barrett would just say, no, you weren't. But I mean, if it's a library book, if it's a series, if it's clothing appropriate for the weather outside, it is a hard no as soon as mom suggests it.
Anyway, okay, and then also our drink.
Yes, our beverage.
I just saw you take a sip. It is called a Narnia 75.
It's delicious.
Are you liking it?
It is crisp and summery, but also kind of feels like I took a bite of an apple, but not really, not autumnal.
Yeah. Well, it has. So it's So first of all, we have to acknowledge that you and I were both like, what did we pick to drink with this classic children's book that also has lots of roots in Christianity?
I know. I was like, we're just ripe for the drink options here.
And so I found this on the Food Network's Christmas page. Oh. So this is technically a Christmas drink.
It does not taste wintry.
No, but I think it's July, so it's Christmas in July.
There you go.
So it's champagne, lime juice, gin, and sugar.
It's delicious.
Good. I mixed the gin and the lime juice and the sugar all before, and then I poured it over the champagne. And I do want to point out this is my second 75 on the pod. And the first one was Izzy's episode.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, friend of ours.
Yes.
Fellow neighbor, and she had a Swedish 75.
Yes.
For
that
her
tracks
episode.
Exactly with that book.
Yeah, so you guys are in the 75 club together.
I love that. Yeah, I first thought like hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Because of a specific scene
in
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
And then I did a little more looking and found, I think I told you that there were Turkish Delight.
Right.
Cocktails. But Turkish Delight is perhaps not for the American palate.
Yeah.
It's, that book made me think it was going to be like the most delicious
right
confection in the entire world. And
yeah.
I was sorely disappointed.
It's like a universal experience.
I think so.
To read this book or know the story and then try Turkish Delight.
Well, I have to imagine that British audiences read the book and they're like, oh, Turkish Delight.
Oh, right.
Whereas American audiences, they're like, oh, magical, delicious. I bet it's so good.
Yeah.
And then try it, probably in adulthood, and it's like, this is doesn't live up to my perceived expectations.
Yeah. And then I think also we both don't really enjoy sweet drinks.
Yes.
That was another part of the conversation of like, how can we find something? So this is gin and champagne. It's not going to be super sweet. But
it's fantastic.
I'm liking it too. Narnia 75. Who knew?
Narnia
Thank you.
75.
I think it's like the Food Network UK. That's where I got it.
Of course.
So, and I guess let's start with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and then we'll see where we go. And you can branch off, like bring up stuff from the different stories. That's where we'll begin. Well,
and true to the series, that is, it is the heart and soul of the series.
Yeah.
And C.S. Lewis didn't set out to write a series. He wrote just The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Right.
And then he wrote Prince Caspian as a sequel. And then he ended up adding the books along the way. So his intent was that it was a standalone story anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, start the story for us. What happens?
Oh, there are the 4 Pevensey children, and they are sent from war-torn London to the countryside to be in a safer environment.
Yeah, during the Blitz, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they they end up at the country estate of this eccentric old professor, and they kind of exhaust the fun things that they can do in the country. It's a rainy day. They end up playing hide and seek, and Lucy, the youngest, hides in a wardrobe, and she ends up going all the way through the coats, gets to the back of the wardrobe. There is no back of the wardrobe. She's suddenly in a wood, and it is wintry, and she meets Mr. Tumnus the fawn.
Yeah.
And that's the first introduction into the land of Narnia. And gradually the other siblings join her in Narnia. That she comes back. They don't believe her. It's a whole point of conflict at the beginning of the book. And there's Edmund is the second youngest. He's the third
So
child.
it's like Peter, Susan, Edmund, Lucy.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
And Lucy is pure of heart and kind, and Edmund is just a total little brat.
Yeah.
As a kind word. And he gets into Narnia following after Lucy one of the times, and he meets the White Witch. And that is when we have the scene where she offers him some refreshments, which is the magical Turkish Delight, and the magical hot chocolate is implied. It's a warm drink. And so he is immediately enthralled with her, and she convinces him to bring his brother and 2 sisters back, because she understands that having 2 sons of Adam and 2 daughters of Eve can fulfill an old prophecy that would end her reign. Yes.
So what is she going to do? Does she want to kill them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
definitely. Okay. But she offers, that's loosely implied in this being a children's novel.
Right. frowned upon.
Yes, but she's absolutely, there's evil intent from the beginning. She does not want to make Edmund a prince and his brother a duke and his sisters duchesses, which is what she promises to him. She wants to give him power and more Turkish delight, but only if he brings them to her. And then the next time that there's journey into Narnia, it's all 4 of them. And they meet various talking animals. Shortly into their first evening there, they notice that Edmund is gone. He has peeled off, and he has gone to meet with the White Witch and tell her where the siblings are. And then chase ensues, along with, so part of the White Witch's evil reign over Narnia, her magic made it so that it was always winter, but never Christmas.
The worst. For
100 years. Winter. No spring, no summer, no Christmas.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. And so when this chase ensues where Mr. Beaver and Mrs. Beaver and the 3 good Pevensey children are seeking to escape before the White Witch and her wolves catch up with them.
Yeah.
They set out, and they're also seeking to find Aslan, and he is the great lion.
Yeah.
He's in the book. He's definitely the god representation.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been seen in the woods for a number of years, and so the rumor of him being at this one location, we must go there to meet him. He will be able to rescue Edmund, and he will be able to tell us what to do. As they're on this trek, birds start chirping, and the ice starts melting, and there are sleigh bells, and they meet Father Christmas, and he gives them each these very special gifts that last throughout the series.
What are the gifts?
The gifts. Peter is gifted a very serious sword. And kind of told, like, the responsibility that comes with this. This is weighty, and you must take this very seriously. Susan is gifted a magical horn that if she blows on the horn, help will come to her wherever she is at any time. And that one comes back into play immediately in the following book, Prince Caspian. The Pevensey children are back in London at the beginning of that book, and they get pulled into Narnia, like rather abruptly. Turns out the horn had been blown by Prince Caspian because he was in desperate need of help, and the help that it brought was the Pevensey children. Very interesting kind of start to that story.
Yeah, and also, so we'll get back, but I guess, sorry, I'm jumping ahead, but I was just thinking there's like a time, like the time in Narnia is different than time out of Narnia.
Yes, the time is vastly different. In fact, the first time that Lucy went in to Narnia, she went to Mr. Tumnus's, she had tea, she fell asleep, she was there for hours and hours, and when she awoke, she was so alarmed because she needed to get back, because surely they would be worried and wondering where she was. Yeah. And she burst out through the wardrobe door and says, "Don't worry, guys, I'm here. Like, I haven't been missing." And, her brothers and sister patronize her and say, well, that's not how hide and seek works. Like, we didn't have any time to come find you, because in the real world, it had only been a few minutes, a couple moments. And for her, it had been hours. Yeah. So I believe Susan is also gifted by Father Christmas a bow and arrow set. And then, because she is a master archer, but that's a skill that she develops and learns in Narnia, in her years in Narnia. And then,
did those skills translate to the real world?
I don't think they did, but they were immediately back with her in Prince Caspian. Yeah. Yes, and then Lucy is gifted a dagger and a cordial that has strong healing powers. Right. Only a little drop is enough to heal anybody. Yeah. And then they continue on their way.
But Edmund isn't with them. So
Edmund's not with them. He doesn't get any gifts. natural consequence.
Missed out, buddy. Trying to betray your family.
And what did the White Witch give you?
Not much.
A stay in the dungeon.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't get any gifts. And yeah, so it's clear that the spell of the always winter but never Christmas is beginning to thaw. That the winter is beginning to thaw, that Father Christmas has come. And by the time they make it to the stone table where they are supposed to, it's rumored that Aslan will be, it's full spring.
Oh.
Yes. And they meet Aslan. He kind of explains to Peter some of the difficulty of what has happened with Edmund being willing to betray them, and that he is firmly in the grasp of the White Witch. And they prepare for battle, that the White Witch will be facing them with all of the, like, bad creatures that have been allowed to just roam free in Narnia during her reign. Yeah. And Aslan approaches the White Witch and asks for Edmund. He wants Edmund. She laughs at him and says, "Oh, you know that all traitors belong to me." Basically, like, he had enough evil intent that you can't have him. He's mine. She references that is part of the old magic. And he, I can't remember if he references it to her, but he knows the magic that is older than the old magic. And he ultimately, quietly, behind the scenes, not in front of everyone, late at night, offers himself in Edmund's stead. Yeah. And she gleefully accepts. Aslan is a far greater catch than Edmund, than this traitorous child. She kills him. She humiliates him. She shaves his fur and ties him up and muzzles him and kills him on this great stone table. Yeah. And Susan and Lucy can't sleep that night. Nobody else is aware of it. So they're not seeking him out on purpose, but they are kind of sneaking about quietly in the middle of the night, and they see him as he's walking to go meet her. And they end up witnessing all of it, and it is just heartbreaking. It's terrible. They go and lie on him, on his broken, beaten body, and they just weep over him. Yeah. And as the sun rises, there are mice all around, and they're like, "Oh, shoo, get away!" Turns out the mice are gnawing at the ropes. Yeah, at the ropes all around him. And they're releasing him, and they're kind of like, they feel that that's sweet, but, like, it doesn't really matter. He's dead. He's been killed. They are leaving the scene, and then they hear a great crack, and they turn around and see that the stone table has cracked in two, and Aslan's body is not there anymore. And then he appears, and he has. His full mane is back. He is radiant in glory, and he is roaring victory. And he explains to them that the witch was unaware of the older magic, the magic before time. And to anybody who perhaps read the book and wasn't aware, it is a very thinly veiled allegory for Christianity, for the gospel story, and makes me feel emotional because of just the weight of it, I guess.
Right. Yeah. But, yeah. Well, his sacrifice.
Yes.
Even for someone like Edmund, who she was like the worst of all the kids,
fully undeserving. Yeah. Did not ask for it. Yeah.
So, it is Aslan is representative of Christ's sacrifice. Yes. All of that. And C.S. Lewis definitely writes a lot of Christian stories. And then I've read Mere Christianity and Till We Have Faces as well. So those are both very good.
I would like to read Till We Have Faces.
Yeah.
But I have read Mere Christianity and Screwtape Letters. And those are the ones that I'm an adult now. This is the C.S. Lewis that I will read. And I've read 2 out of 3 of the Space trilogy.
Okay.
Which is definitely, in my opinion, not children's books. I felt like they were harder to get through. The 3rd book was very hard to find for a while.
Oh.
But I just bought the set from Costco.
Oh,
Costco. I know. And I was like, oh, look at that. Now I'll have the whole set.
Okay, well, good. And then, it's very, like you said, it's an allegory for Christianity. It's also very famous for fantasy.
Yeah.
And a lot of the concepts that are introduced in the Chronicles of Narnia have become, like, canon for fantasy everywhere. So, as that part, do you like fantasy?
I would not say that that's a genre that I lean towards, that I particularly enjoy. And I think if you had told me that, when I was younger, one of my first read-throughs or second read-throughs of Chronicles of Narnia, I would have been like, it's not fantasy. But then, take a beat and be like, well, it's not set in the real world. Like, it is ultimately fantasy. But I feel like that it's incredibly accessible fantasy. Not that the rest of it is inaccessible.
Oh,
but,
right, yeah. But there is you're right, there's something called high fantasy, which is it's not accessible really unless you're really into the genre.
Oh, yes. And maybe it's because it's so ingrained in pop culture and because it's been around for so long that it just doesn't occur to me as fantasy.
Yeah.
But he and J.R.R. Tolkien were very good friends.
Yeah.
And so my sister is a big J.R.R. Tolkien fan. She has a little tattoo of his, like, the initials all together in a Tolkien symbol.
Oh. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Gotta love the Tolkien symbol.
And so I know that they were good friends, that they corresponded a lot, and I think that when J.R.R. Tolkien was writing The Lord of the Rings was along the same lines. When
I think it was about the same time, and they were in a writing group together that would meet at the Eagle and Child in Oxford, and I've been there.
Oh, yeah, very cool.
I went there over 20 years ago with my family. My dad is a big C.S. Lewis fan, so we had to go check it out.
Yeah.
But I think they were friends, and they were in the same kind of group. I don't know how much overlap the book series have with each other, but they're pretty close.
Well, I think that I read that there was some, like, that C.S. Lewis had told him, you're writing this and I'm writing this, and they're similar in content,
scope.
But not scope, but not in tone.
They have two. I think they had different goals too with writing that. But
I read the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy on my phone, on my Kindle app, while nursing my second. And so I could read it at night, and so I was just reading, like,
on the phone.
Yeah.
I had the same experience, though, of when I was nursing Annabelle, now a long time ago. But you can't do anything because you're holding the baby. So you have one free hand. Yeah. And so, I would just scroll. I mean, I didn't read a lot the years following that, but that during I was home with her those first few months, I read a lot on my phone as well.
It was one of the books, all 3 of them, available on the Kindle app without paying.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to do any mental work of choosing a book, researching an author to see if I liked it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yes, I will read these. And, and it was a little bit of, I'll read it however far I read it. And then I got far enough in that I was like, guess I got to finish this. That said, I enjoyed it. It was not, like, tedious.
Yeah. So if we have any moms out there or new moms, we both.
You know what book I really recommend to a brand new mom nursing her baby at night? Some Tolkien.
So anyway, it's good. It's good on the phone.
Yeah,
so for sure. Yeah. So and you do read quite a bit.
I do like to read, and now that my youngest he's almost 18 months, I feel there was a time where I was like, my youngest 2 are 19 months apart, and so there was a whole whirlwind few years where I was like, I can't do anything. I have these plans to be active in this way, like get this many miles per month, and like I want to be reading this many books, and I have a long to be read list. And there was just a time where I often say stage of life, and there was a stage of life where sort of as like an encouragement to myself, where it's like, you want to do this thing, and there's just not room in your daily life right now. But there will come a time where there is. There will be a stage of life where you are.
That's
and so,
very graceful.
Back to reading.
Yeah. That's very graceful of you, because like, I don't know, I tend to be like, just freak out and get overwhelmed and just be like, my life will never be normal again.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, but I'm often saying it to myself, like muttering under my breath, stage of life, like walking around, like kicking Duplos out of the way on the floor. I'm like, this is stage of life.
Yeah. This too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
So go into the characters a little bit. So we have the 4 Pevensey. Sorry, I have to...
The Pevensey children.
The Pevensey children. So, who's your favorite?
Oh, man. Probably, hot take, Edmund.
Oh, that is a hot take.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lucy is the obvious answer.
Right.
And I do love Lucy. And I love her in Voyage of the Dawn Treader. She has a great character arc there, too.
Okay.
But Edmund, I relate more with Edmund.
Okay.
I was not a Lucy child.
Okay.
I was much more an Edmund child. And I think a little bit, I think his redemption arc is beautiful in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but seeing his character development in the subsequent books, in particular, Voyage of the Dawn Treader, my favorite. He just really blossoms into a strong character, and he doesn't shy away from the bad that he did before. There's just some of like, oh yeah, this is a part of my story, and I was rescued from that, and I'm not that way anymore. I'm this way now. And then the way that he kind of brings others along too. Eustace is a character who joins us in Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and his name is Eustace Scrubb, and he's introduced as and he almost deserved that name. And he too has a incredible redemption arc throughout the book. My community group through church, when we talk about various things, we'll talk about like the sermon on Sunday or something. I frequently reference anything from Chronicles of Narnia. And one of the things that Eustace has happen is that he, through his greed and selfishness, turns into a dragon. Oh. And then he's unable to undragon himself because the armband that he has put on is now, the gold armband from the dragon's treasure is now way too tight. And so he, through his suffering as a dragon, he learns some empathy, and he kind of changes his approach to things. And then Aslan rescues him from being a dragon. Oh. He tells him to, he takes him to an island, and there's a beautiful sparkling pool, and he tells him to undress and go into the water. And Eustace tries to claw at his scaly skin, and he removes some, but it's not enough. And he tries it again, and it's not enough. And then he approaches Aslan, and Aslan takes a claw, digs deep, and cuts in, and it hurts. But he's able to remove the dragon skin, the dragon exterior, and Eustace can go into the pool and be healed. Yeah. And he comes back a totally changed person, partly through his experience as a dragon. But I love that allegory. But also that Edmund had perhaps more sympathy for Eustace, more patience for Eustace than the others did, because Edmund had this approach of like, yep, I was the thorn in others' sides for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, and I feel you because I feel like from the song Amazing Grace, I was lost, but now I'm found. And sorry, I'm not even like super religious, but like I'm like tearing up thinking about that. I think about, if you have experienced being Edmund, or realizing like I'm kind of a crappy person, and then realizing that there is grace, that there is another side. It's such a beautiful journey.
Yeah, there's room for you to be different.
Right.
You don't have to stay this way. But in Eustace's experience, in my experience, and a lot of people's experience, digging deep and trying to do it yourself doesn't do it. Like you might be able to change some, have some like behavior change, but it's not enough. And that it has to be this like heart change that comes from outside.
Yeah.
And in the story that's Aslan, and in the allegory it's God. It's God changing your heart for you. And that's one of the ones that I lean on a lot in talking with our community group is that I'm like, I try so hard. I try so hard to be this kind of mother, or to like not lose my cool with my kids, or anything that's just like a really common struggle.
Right.
And it's like, and I can't do it. I can do it for a little bit, and then I fail. Like I'm only getting off one layer of this scaly skin, and I need heart change. I need somebody else. I need God to do it for me, and it hurts, and I don't like it. And it's like he's got it the claw, and it's in a little too deep, and I don't like it. But knowing that like the outcome on the other side of it is worth it.
Right.
I won't be a dragon anymore.
No. Yeah. Well, that's really beautiful. And so the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, I do want to give you an opportunity because that is your favorite.
It's my favorite. And I thought about this. I was like, it has always been my favorite. In fact, my copy of it is it doesn't fit in my box.
Okay.
Of my original box set.
Oh.
Because it's a replacement. Because I lent my original one to someone who never gave it back. Which is fine.
That's what happens.
I know.
That's very good of you to be cool, but yeah.
So now I have like, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 in the box, and then 5 sits outside of it because it's too big. It doesn't fit.
Well, it looks like a very nice copy. You've got you got some paperbacks, and I've got some.
Can you believe this? This is my copy. It's been a paperback that I've read, 10 plus times.
That looks
for a couple decades.
That looks it looks like it's from the 90s.
Yeah, and it hasn't fallen apart. And I also, if my kids read it and it falls apart, I'll be like, it's had a good life.
Absolutely.
We can replace this book.
You've done well. So tell us about the Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Because, all right, so I have read The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Obviously saw the movie. But I don't know this story.
Yes.
So tell me about it.
So this story, Edmund and Lucy have been sent to stay with their, perhaps the aunt and uncle are awful, but perhaps they're not. Perhaps they're fine. But they've been sent to stay with aunt and uncle and definitely awful cousin, Eustace. And they're sent to stay with him while their parents go on an American vacation. And Susan got to go on the vacation, and Peter was busy studying for exams, I think.
Right.
And so while they're there, there's a painting on the wall that Lucy loves and spends time looking at, kind of to escape the situation at the house. She loves it because it looks Narnian. She says the ship on the ocean in the picture looks Narnian. And so Eustace is giving Lucy and Edmund a hard time, just really like hassling them. And then they all fall into the painting.
Okay.
And then they're in the water and they get rescued, and it turns out it was a Narnian ship, the Dawn Treader. And so they join this expedition to explore basically beyond the map of the eastern seas of Narnia, that they knew of the lone islands that are not terribly far from Narnia's eastern coast, but they didn't know much beyond that. So they went off on this great adventure to visit the islands and to map them, and they went in search of 7 lords who had gone on a similar expedition during he's now King Caspian in this book, during King Caspian's uncle's reign. His uncle, evil, bad Uncle Miraz, he sent the 7 lords who were loyal to King Caspian, Prince Caspian's father. It's really not that complicated, but now it sounds very complicated. Anyway, evil Uncle Miraz sent the 7 lords out because they were loyal, and he just wanted to send them on a mission to get rid of them. And so now, Prince Caspian, now King Caspian, he has gone on this expedition to find these 7 lords. And so there's various stops at the islands where they have adventures at the different islands. They experience all kinds of different things. And they're seeking to find the eastern edge. And Aslan's country is beyond the edge of the ocean. And so it's just their adventures at sea. They meet a sea monster. Reepy Cheep the mouse is a main character in this one. And I don't know, I think maybe I just loved the adventure of it. Yeah. And on subsequent reads of the series, I've been open to another book being my favorite, and it just stays. It stays my favorite.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Because, I think everybody knows The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But, like, a lot of us don't get past that if we even get to it. So it is cool to know a little bit more about how the story progresses.
Well, chronologically, the books on either side of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe are a little bit dry. I love A Horse and His Boy. And I do like that's the third chronologically,
third book. Okay.
Yeah. And then I do like Magician's Nephew, but they just don't pack the same punch.
Okay.
So yeah. And of course, and Eustace is on the ship with them. It is very much against his will at the beginning of it. He writes in the log, his daily log, about how he's demanding to be put ashore, and that they call the consul to come and pick him up, and just how awful the food is, and that this horrible little rodent keeps chirping at him, and that's Reepy Cheep, and then we see his character development throughout it, and his change, and that's really, really nice. And then Eustace is one of the main characters, children that comes back for Silverchair, which another
dry
bleak one. That's the one that Barrett asked for. We have them on disc. We have the radio theater version, which is amazing.
You like that?
And he asked for that one. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Well, and you brought up the radio theater. There's adaptions of them.
Yeah.
So did you grow up watching any of these? Did you see? Okay, so I'll tell you my experience.
Okay.
Of thinking about this for really deeply for the first time in a while, is I was I had in my head the version that I watched growing up.
Was it the BBC version?
It was the BBC. The funny thing is, I think, because I was watching it today, just looking at it, because I was like, oh, this would be so nice to go back and revisit, and I was like, this is weird.
It's rough.
It's a very weird thing. And it reminded me also, did you ever watch Shelley Duvall?
No, but
Fairy Tale Theater.
I just found out about it because of her passing.
R.I.P. Yeah.
And I was like, that sounds like something I would be really into, but probably wouldn't have it other times in my life. But I was like, I got to check that out. No, I never watched it.
It was, I don't know, watching this today, I was like, I probably was just so immune to weirdness because I watched Shelley Duvall's Fairy Tale Theater. And we would get it from the library.
Yeah.
And my mom, like, I could get, like, all the whatever VHS they had. And, I mean, that's what I watched a lot. So I was watching The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and it's, like, the same thing where, like, the beavers are, like, humans dressed up, like, in beaver costumes.
It's not good. I mean, it's fine, but it's a little alarming.
Yeah. Well, I think so. Then I saw, like, when the 2005 version, when that came out, I think I had merged them in my head, so that the one from the BBC version wasn't as wacky. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Is like your memory just sort of warps things a little bit. But I definitely
maybe it's not even true.
Yeah,
the more recent version. Is excellent. And Liam Neeson is the voice of Aslan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I love the radio theater version, but I just wish it was Liam Neeson.
Oh, to do Aslan
for the voice of Aslan. Yeah. It's just like the voice of Aslan on it is just not as good as Liam Neeson.
I mean, it's quite a voice.
Yeah.
Powerful. Very powerful. Very
trustworthy.
Yes.
And yes.
So perfect for Aslan too. Yes. But did they make just The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or did they make the whole series?
They made Prince Caspian, and they made. I think they made Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Well, actually, this right here says a major motion picture, holiday 2005.
Oh, perfect.
Was that long ago?
Yeah.
No way.
No. I have very specific memory of watching it because I was in China at the time.
Yeah?
And so you could, I mean, as time goes by, it was a while ago at this point, but you can get bootleg copies of, like, anything in China.
But is it not somebody videoing in a theater?
It depends.
Okay.
Sometimes it would be that.
Because you can, like, see people's heads.
Right, yeah. But no, a lot of times I think it is people who get like early DVDs and then they sell them. Like, so, like, people that are, in awards committees, which I'm like, if you care this much. I mean, it's basically like I have access to advanced reader copies. I'm not supposed... I mean, I guess I could let somebody else borrow it, but I'm probably not supposed to go and, like, sell it.
No. My sister worked at Barnes & Noble for a while, and I would sometimes pick up a book with no cover.
Yeah.
And just say, what is this? And read it. So, because they were advanced copies.
But that's, like, that is a big thing, is it will say, like, you can't sell it at all. Like, even after it comes out, you're not supposed to sell it. So, anyway, that's how I watched this movie, was in my Beijing apartment.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And it was, like, still in theaters here in the U.S.
Yes. So. Oh. Sneaky. So, yes. The Voyage of the Dawn Treader was a movie made in 2010.
Okay.
So, I think that little sticker is for Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
2005. But, yeah. So, I think only those three were made. But also, again, the storyline of some of the others isn't as strong in terms of a narrative that you might want to watch.
Right.
And then also, I think some of the content is not terribly movie-esque. Like, The Last Battle is the one I've read the least in terms of I've read the entire series a few times. And then I've read individual books or, like, a chunk of the series. Some other times. I mean, it's supposed to be a representation of the end times and, like, a lot of what's depicted in Revelation, which is already really difficult to have commentary on, like to understand. And, and my understanding is that it's supposed to be that way, that, like, nobody really knows. And so I think that that's a piece of that book being kind of, like, difficult and not an enticing storyline. And again, the battle ends with a lot of death. But then it also has that, like, everybody kind of reconvening in essentially new Narnia, which is like heaven. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then last question is, who would you recommend this story for?
I would recommend this story to really anybody. It's very accessible for elementary-aged kids. I frequently recommend the a lot of the books we've talked about, but really the whole series, to anybody who is on a faith journey of Christianity in particular, because it is directly tied to the Bible.
Yeah.
But I think that even if you're not a person of the Christian faith, it's still a good story, even if you don't agree with the religious allegory of it. It's still a beautiful story.
Yeah. And I don't think you'd have to be Christian to read this at all. I mean,
it's not
it makes sense if you know the story of Christ, but yeah.
It's not a book on theology. It's not dense or heavy or specific to that. There's no barriers to entry. Anybody could read it.
Yeah, well, good.
Yeah.
And then I do want to ask, is there anything that you're working on and that you would like to shine a light on while you're here?
I love Worth Days.
Okay.
The organization.
Okay.
And I'm not currently doing anything with them, but around the holidays, I have been blessed enough with my boss that she lets me have a budget and then sponsor several children for Christmas, because Worth Days exist to celebrate children who are in the foster care system but aren't in a foster placement. So it's like Worth Days, like birthdays. And so it's for birthdays and holidays. So they are not with a family where they would get celebrated. They're not with kinship. They're not with their own family or a foster family. And so often these kids don't get celebrated because there's not funds available. There's not somebody who's purchasing them. And Worth Days connects people who want to tell these children that they're worthy and that they deserve to be celebrated. So it connects those people, and you can buy them. You can just buy birthday presents for them. So you would you would sponsor a kid, and you do basically the whole birthday, or like we do at Christmas. So we would get like 8 or 9 kids for work, and then our family does one, and they have a list of like suggested things and things that they like and things that they need. And so we always get like coats and shoes for everybody. Everybody gets a book.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go wild.
Okay.
It's like, oh, you want this kind of baby doll? Like, I'm gonna get you that baby doll and like 6 sets of clothes for the baby, and like and it's just kind of getting to celebrate.
That's
these
really
kids.
sweet.
And we never get to meet the kids. We never get any kind of like feedback on it, but just knowing that you're giving them, just celebrating them and letting them know, like the whole message of Worth Days is like telling these kids, you are worthy, you're worth it.
Yeah.
So
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's awesome. It's very cool, and I didn't know about it either. So
yeah, I love
now
Worth
I know.
Days.
So cool. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You've been lovely, and this is exciting. Hopefully you had a good time.
I have. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah. Now we can finish off our, I keep wanting to call it Racer 75 for the King's
Narnia 75.
It's a Narnia. Racer 75 for the listener is the ride at King's Dominion, which I ride, which my daughter loves. So anyway, Narnia 75.
I'm almost in a stage of life where we'll be going to King's Dominion all the time.
Well,
We're not quite there.
We've got it. Our neighborhood, there's a crew.
I have heard.
Yeah.
I've heard.
So
yeah.
Anyway. All right. Thank you. Thank you for spending some time with me and my guest for an episode of Drinks in the Library. For more information about the show, you can find us on Instagram at Drinks in the Library, on the World Wide Web, drinksinthelibrary.com, or shoot me an email at drinkspod@gmail.com. Until next time, cheers.